The three rich men who changed my life was John Kluge, worth $5 billion, Warren Buffett, worth $47 billion, and Bill Gates, when he was worth $79 billion. John Kluge said something I wish I'd have looked at closer. He said, "I've seen as many people fail from attempting too many things at the same time as people who have failed doing nothing. I've seen as many people fail from taking on too many projects, setting too many goals at the same time. The scripture says, this one thing I do. This one thing I do." Inspiration and hope and opportunity can overwhelm you. I remember going to 4 states a day in my jets, teaching in 4 cities. I would start in Waco, and then Austin, and then San Antonio, and then Houston in one day. Why? Because I could. You make many mistakes when you hurry. There's always something hidden you don't see. I love getting a lot of things done. I love seeing how much I can get accomplished. But hurry guarantees error. When you hurry, things change. I remember rushing through the Singapore airport in Singapore, and I was trying to get there, and a friend of mine with me said, he was just sauntering down. I said, "We got to get there." He said, "Oh, they'll hold the plane for us." But I was so rushed. I was rushed, and we're flying on to another place, another Philippines. That's where we was flying, to the Manila, Philippines. And I said, "Where's my passport?" I had left it back in Singapore. Hurry creates mistakes. John Kluge said, "I've seen as many people fail from attempting too many things. I bought 7 houses in 7 days one time because I could." Slow down your life to the speed of excellence. Slow down your life to the speed of accuracy. Second man who affected me was Warren Buffett. I read every word he says, but he made a statement. I won't get into that because of time, but his 5 rules of money. Number 1 is don't lose any. Number 2 is reread rule number 1. Don't lose any. I've had 3 major embezzlements in my ministry. Major. I've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars trusting people, letting one person sign the checks and not notice who got close to them. The story is horrendous, but that's what the second richest man in America at the time, the first rule of money is don't lose any. Negotiate everything. Know what's in every bank account. I think you should have a minimum of 3 different banks. 3 different banks. Look at every single thing, every receipt. Look at your bank account first thing every morning and last thing every night. Look at it. Review the deposits. Are they accurate? Wherever there's people, there's mistakes. Wherever there's people, there's robbery. There's theft. If there's 10 people in a room, 8 will steal. Can you grasp that? Slow everything down. You can't afford it. It's too hard to get money. To be careless. The third richest man was Bill Gates. I was 58 years old. And I read his book, and it was hard to read, called Business at the Speed of Thought. Oh, back to Warren Buffett. When he read a book by Benjamin Graham on investment, he got in his used car and drove all the way to New York and said, I want to stay close to this man to know what he knows. He had the Elisha factor. And I want to say this. When I saw a man willing to leave all of his home, all of his comfort, so he could be taught one-on-one by someone he admired. Who are you willing to learn from? Who do you have an opportunity to learn from? Who do you admire enough to change all your goals and plans? Read everything Warren Buffett ever said. Number 3 was, just mentioned Bill Gates. He said in his book, Business at the Speed of Thought, he says his dream was to have a paperless office. I thought, well, that's crazy. I love paper. I love books. Oh, I love paper. I love notebooks. I love journals. And as I studied, I was 58. Changed my life 180 degrees. I hired someone to start teaching me everything they knew about computers. And I continued it for over 11 years. $75 an hour. And I'd sit there 8 hours a day after my prayer time in the morning, and I'd study. Now, I'm a very slow learner. But if a man worth $79 billion said he wished he had a paperless office, he had an understanding of time, instant information, instant filing systems. I didn't even know how to turn on a computer. I had no interest in a computer. I was reading the book of Psalms and the book of Proverbs. I was preaching around the world. I didn't have time to, but a man I admired made me listen. And what's the first proof that you have wisdom? Proverbs 1:5. A wise man will listen. A wise man will hear. My book, 7 Laws, I wish every protege knew. Spent a lot of time on this book, over 100 wisdom keys, over 64 pages, and I made it possible. 5 copies. You may have a friend worth $3. 5 copies for $15. It's book 347. I hope you'll call. Thank you for letting me be in your world.